I still remember that Sunday lunch like it just happened. It was one of those forced family gatherings my husband, Jason, insisted we attend. Just 2 hours, babe. Mom will get upset if we skip again. So there I was, sitting at the polished oak table in his parents' dining room, pretending to enjoy myself while his mother, Patricia, commented on everything from how I folded my napkin to how I didn't eat much for someone so small. Jason sat across from me, halfway tuned out, scrolling through his phone between bites. His father mumbled something about the weather, and the whole scene felt fake. Like everyone was just playing their role. Halfway through the roast chicken, my phone buzzed in my lap. I glanced down casually. A message from an unknown number. It said, "Don't react. They're recording you." My fork froze midair. My stomach dropped. What do you mean, recording me? I looked up instinctively. Jason was cutting his meat, his mom talking, his dad sipping water. Nobody was looking at me differently. I tried to laugh lightly, but my heart was pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears. Another text came. Smile. Pretend everything's fine. Your husband's phone is on the counter behind you. Without moving my head, I glanced toward the kitchen. Jason's phone sat on the counter, propped up slightly against a napkin holder. Camera facing us, my chest tightened. That phone had been there since we sat down. Recording why? I forced myself to keep chewing, pretending to listen as Patricia complained about the younger generation's obsession with privacy. The irony almost made me laugh. If I hadn't felt like I was about to faint, I typed quickly under the table. Who is this? What do you mean they're recording me? The reply came instantly. Check the reflection in the glass cabinet to your left. I turned slightly, pretending to adjust my seat. And there it was. The glass door behind me showed the faint reflection of Jason's phone. The screen had that tiny red dot. Recording. He was recording me. My mind started racing. Was this a prank? Some kind of setup, but why? Then another text came. They're trying to make you react. Don't give them what they want. I suddenly remembered the night before. Jason had asked weird questions. Would you ever cheat on me? Do you tell your friends about our fights? At the time, I thought he was just being insecure. Now I wasn't so sure. Patricia's voice cut through my thoughts. So, Emma, she said sweetly, are you still spending so much time at that office of yours? Must be hard keeping secrets from Jason when you work such long hours. The table went silent. Jason glanced up, not at me, but at his phone behind me. Like he was waiting for a reaction. My palms went cold. The stranger was right. They wanted me to react. I smiled tightly. Works fine, I said. Some of us just enjoy being productive. Patricia's fake smile faltered. Jason looked confused, maybe disappointed. The air grew thick. Another vibration. One more text. Good. Keep acting normal. After lunch, go to the guest bathroom. Lock the door. There's something you need to see. I wanted to scream, who are you? But I couldn't risk it. So I sat there, eating in silence while everyone else made small talk, pretending nothing was wrong. Jason laughed at something his dad said. Patricia poured more wine. And I sat there smiling, knowing someone, maybe everyone, was watching me. When dessert came, I excused myself. Bathroom, I said softly, forcing a smile. I walked down the narrow hallway toward the guest bathroom, my heart beating so fast I could barely breathe. The mirror above the sink reflected my pale face. Then, my phone buzzed again. Check under the sink cabinet. I slowly knelt down, opened the door, and froze. There, tucked behind a roll of paper towels, was a small black device. A camera. A blinking red light. They weren't just recording lunch. They were recording everything. I covered my mouth to keep from screaming. My phone buzzed again. Don't take it out yet. There's more. My hands were shaking so badly that I had to steady myself on the counter. A camera, hidden in the guest bathroom. My mind couldn't even form a full thought. Just flashes of betrayal, confusion, and disgust. Who would do this? Jason? His parents? All of them? The small red light on the device blinked in the dark cabinet like it was mocking me. I wanted to rip it out, smash it, run, but that last message stopped me cold. Don't take it out yet. There's more. I stared at the screen, terrified but too curious to stop. Open the mirror cabinet above the sink, the text said. I slowly opened it. Inside were normal things: toothpaste, a pack of cotton swabs, a half-empty bottle of lotion. But behind the lotion was another black object, smaller this time. It wasn't a camera. It was a tiny microphone. My throat went dry. I suddenly felt sick. How long had this been here? How much had they heard? I closed the cabinet quietly and backed away. I wanted to cry, but the stranger's first message replayed in my head. Don't react. They're recording you. Whoever they were, they had saved me from walking right into whatever this was. I texted back, "Who are you? Why are you helping me?" The reply came almost instantly. "You don't know me." But I know what they're doing. They want to frame you. My pulse hammered in my ears. Frame me? For what? Before I could type another word, a knock came at the door. "Emma?" It was Jason. "Everything okay in there?" I jumped, gripping my phone so tightly my knuckles turned white. "Yeah," I said quickly, "just fixing my makeup." His voice sounded closer. "You've been in there a while." I forced myself to sound casual. "Give me a minute." He hesitated. Then I heard his footsteps fade away. Another text came. "He suspects you found it. Flush the toilet, wash your hands, and leave like nothing's wrong. But don't sit back at the table." I followed the instructions like I was hypnotized. As I opened the door, I could hear Jason's mom whispering in the dining room. Something about getting proof. My skin crawled. I walked toward the front door, pretending to grab my purse. "I just need to grab something from the car," I said, smiling faintly. Jason barely looked up. Patricia just stared at me. Too long, too still. I stepped outside into the cold sunlight and finally exhaled. My hands were trembling so bad I dropped my keys. Another buzz. "Good. Now get in your car. Drive around the corner." "I'll call you." I hesitated, part of me thinking this could all be a trick. But at that point, every face inside that house felt like a threat. So I got in my car, started the engine, and drove away. My phone rang. "Unknown number," I answered. "Who are you?" I whispered, a man's voice, calm, low, and serious. "My name doesn't matter right now. But I used to work with your husband." I froze. "What do you mean?" "He's not who you think he is," the voice said. "That camera wasn't just for you. They've been recording your entire house for weeks. I found out last month and I've been watching to see if you noticed." My breath hitched. "Why? Why would he do that?" The man paused. "Because he needs proof. He's trying to build a case, to make you look unstable, dangerous." I gripped the steering wheel, heart pounding. "What case?" "You'll find out soon enough," he said. "Go somewhere safe. Somewhere with cameras. A cafe, a library, anywhere public. Don't go home." I looked in my rearview mirror. Jason's black SUV had just turned the corner behind me. "Too late," I whispered. "He's following me." The man's voice was firm. "Stay calm. Don't lead him anywhere private. Turn right now." I did. My tires screeched slightly. The SUV followed. "Keep driving," the man said. "I'll guide you." I weaved through traffic, adrenaline surging. Every time I glanced in the mirror, that SUV was still there. Jason's eyes locked on me. Then the voice said something that made my blood run cold. "He's not alone." I looked again, and saw a familiar figure in the passenger seat. Patricia, my husband and his mother, chasing me, and suddenly it all made sense. They wanted to catch me doing something. They wanted a reaction. They wanted evidence, but of what? My phone buzzed again. The stranger's voice sounded tense now. "Listen to me carefully. You're being set up. And the worst part? They've already told the police you're dangerous." I couldn't stop thinking about that text. "Don't react. They're recording you." My mind was racing, but my face stayed still. I smiled, nodded, and passed the mashed potatoes like nothing was wrong. Inside, though, I was replaying every detail of the last few weeks. The whispers. The secret phone calls my husband ended whenever I walked in. His mom suddenly becoming sweet after years of criticizing me. And now this text, this warning. Something was about to go down. As my mother-in-law kept talking about family values, I noticed her phone propped up on a napkin holder, camera facing me. That wasn't normal. I glanced at my husband, hoping for reassurance, but he was glued to his plate, avoiding my eyes. That's when it hit me. They wanted a reaction. If they were recording me, they needed proof of something. Maybe they were trying to make me look crazy, or maybe they were setting me up for something worse. So I played along. I laughed at their jokes, even when they were clearly about me. I nodded when his mother said, A good wife knows when to stay quiet, and I even poured his father a second glass of wine when he raised his voice at me. But behind that calm mask, I started taking notes, mentally. Every detail, every word, every glance. When dessert came, I excused myself to the restroom. Once inside, I locked the door, pulled out my phone, and texted back the unknown number. Who is this? What do you mean they're recording me? A few seconds later, the typing bubble appeared. Check your husband's iCloud. You'll understand. My heart dropped. I opened the Photos app, signed into his account, and froze. There were dozens of videos, all of me. Some from dinner, some from our home, and even some from arguments that should have stayed private. They had been saving everything, every bad day, every raised voice, every tear, cut, edited, and labeled, proof of emotional instability. My throat tightened. They were building a case against me. I remembered my husband mentioning a backup plan if things didn't work out between us. I thought it was about finances, but no, it was me. They were trying to paint me as unstable, so he could take full control, maybe even custody if it came to that. I stared at the mirror, my reflection trembling. No, not this time. I wasn't going to let them win. I deleted nothing. Instead, I took screenshots of every file, every folder, every timestamp. I emailed them to myself and sent copies to a friend I trusted. When I walked back out, my heart was steady again. They had no idea that I knew. Everything all right, dear? My mother-in-law asked with her fake concern. Yes, I smiled sweetly. Just washing my hands. It's funny how the truth always finds a way out, don't you think? Her smile faltered. Just a little. That night, I didn't confront my husband. I played it smart. I acted normal. I needed time and proof, because when someone warns you, they're recording you, it means you're already in a game. And I decided then I wasn't going to be their victim. I was going to be the one who ended the game. As I laid in bed, pretending to sleep, I could hear my husband whispering on the phone. Yeah, she didn't react, but we'll get it next time. My heart turned cold. Next time? There wouldn't be a next time. The next morning, I called in sick to work, drove straight to an attorney's office, and showed them everything. Every screenshot, every folder, every clip. The lawyer looked at me and said, "You did the right thing. This isn't just manipulation. It's illegal surveillance." That's when I realized the text had saved me. Whoever sent that message had just changed everything. The next step was figuring out who it was. Because someone out there was watching too, but not to hurt me. To help me, and I was about to find out why. The next morning, I woke up with a plan. My husband kissed me on the cheek before heading to work, pretending everything was fine. I smiled back and pretended too, because now I had something stronger than fear. Evidence. The lawyer I'd met had advised me not to confront him yet. Instead, I was to keep everything exactly as it was and gather more proof. That meant acting like the same clueless wife they thought they were outsmarting. But I had one goal, to find out who sent that text. At lunch, I went through my phone again, scanning every clue. The number was private. No name, no photo, just the warning. I texted back, "Why are you helping me?" A few moments later, a new message appeared. "Because I used to be you." My heart froze. Whoever this was, they knew what it felt like to be trapped in this same twisted game. They sent me an address and said, "Meet me if you want the full truth." Come alone, I hesitated. It could be a trap. But something inside told me it wasn't. So I drove to the address, a small cafe on the edge of town. When I walked in, I saw her immediately. A woman in her 40s, sitting in the corner with sunglasses and a worn-out look in her eyes. She motioned me over. "You don't know me," she began quietly, "but I used to be married to your husband." My breath caught in my throat. She continued, "He did the same thing to me." The cameras. The recordings. His family backed him, just like they're doing to you now. They tried to make me look unstable, emotionally abusive, all to take everything when I filed for divorce. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She showed me old files. Photos, messages, the same manipulation pattern. Same family dinners, same rehearsed lines, even the same hidden phone setup during important conversations. She looked at me and said, "I couldn't stop them back then. But when I saw your name on their shared folder, I knew they were doing it again. So I warned you." That's when I realized she was the one who sent the text. I felt a rush of gratitude and rage all at once. They had destroyed her life once. But not mine. Not this time. She handed me a flash drive. Everything you need is on here. Their messages, the group chats, the plans. Use it. As I left the cafe, I felt something shift inside me. The fear that had controlled me for so long started to burn away. When I got home, my husband was waiting, pretending to be the loving partner again. "How was your day?" he asked casually. I smiled. "Productive." That night, after he fell asleep, I copied every file from that flash drive onto my own account. The next morning, I went straight to the lawyer's office. Together, we pieced everything together. The recordings, the fake evidence, the hidden camera timestamps, and even the messages between his mother and him planning how to provoke me. They had built a whole narrative, one meant to destroy me. But now, I had their entire blueprint. 2 days later, we sent the files to the authorities. And when the police came knocking, my husband's calm, confident face finally cracked. They confiscated his phone, his laptop, even his mother's devices. The footage was enough to open a full investigation: illegal surveillance, privacy invasion, and defamation. For the first time in months, I could breathe. That night, I received one last text from the same number. "You ended it. Don't let them pull you back in. Live your life now," I replied. "Thank you." "You saved me," she wrote back. "No, you saved yourself." Weeks later, I sat in that same cafe again, sipping coffee by myself. No cameras. No tension. Just peace. I thought about how many people live like I did, walking on eggshells, thinking they're crazy when in reality, they're being controlled, watched, manipulated. Sometimes the people who smile the most in public are the ones plotting the darkest things in private. But I wasn't that naive woman anymore. I was the woman who saw through the mask, and the next time someone tries to record me, they'll only capture one thing: me walking away. Because that's the most powerful revenge there is: walking away and never looking back.